In this calm step-by-step tutorial, I'm going to give you the ultimate walkthrough of every SEMrush SEO tool available in their 14-day free trial. I'll explain what makes each tool essential, show you how to leverage them for your online success, and walk you through their functions step by step. This way you can get ahead of your competitors and get real-life actionable advice. To get the free trial of 14 days instead of 7 days, sponsored by SEMrush, go to wpressdoctor.com/SEMrush. This link is also in the description of this video and of course in the comments. And then we are here at the website of SEMrush. To get started, press over here on Try It Free. Then we're going to create our account. So fill in your email address over here and then create a really strong password. Tick this box to receive news and SEO tips from SEMrush. I highly recommend it. And then we press over here on Create an Account. Get the 6 digits from your email and fill it in over here. And then we need to fill in our credit card information. Now, don't worry, you won't be charged today. And if you don't like SEMrush in the 14-day trial, you can just cancel your subscription at any time. Welcome to the dashboard of SEMrush. Here we can manage our projects. That means you can have multiple websites and projects with different kind of competitors inside of one dashboard. Now that's very useful. In this tutorial, I will be walking you through all these tools on the left side. So you're gonna learn a lot of things, why you need it, how you need it, how we can use it, and how you can create actionable points from these reports. Well, let's start by creating a new project over there. Just fill in your URL. And then we press on Start Now. As you can see now, the AI is analyzing our URL because SEMrush is an AI-powered, data-driven SEO platform that simplifies keyword research, competitive analysis, and site optimization helping. So marketeers like us at any level can make informed decisions, save time, and drive measurable growth. Now that sounds really great, but how does it work in real life? The first thing we see right now is that Copilot AI has some personal recommendations. For example, we have some backlink loss over here. I'm going to explain to you everything about backlinks. And this is very useful because over here we see, for example, low-hanging fruit by tweaking our content for quick and easy traffic wins, more traffic on our website by just adding these keywords, and you can also see the volume. When you scroll down, you can also see some things we need to fix, broken pages. We had to do a technical audit, our keyword position tracking tool, we're going to add it in just a second, and also more competitors found, so you can analyze more what are they doing, so you can implement the quick wins on your own website. It's a good practice to visit it regularly because when things change, you will get notified by the Copilot AI. For now, we're just going to close the Copilot over here. By the way, if you want to change your language of SEMrush itself, you can do that down here. Click on English and you can change it to any language that you would like to have. If you want to have multiple SEO projects, that's possible. Just go on the right side, create SEO project, and then we can add in another domain. And then we press on Create Project. This way we can create different kind of project, analyze them and our competitors within SEMrush. For now, we're just going to use this one. So I click over here, Settings, and I'm going to delete this project. And press on Delete. We can now see over here our SEO project, Maserati of Puente Hills. By the way, I've never been there before. This video is not sponsored in any way by them, but I just thought it would be a fun subject to use as an example within SEMrush. And then we have over here domains for monitoring. If you open this up, we can add in domain names of our competitors so we can analyze them and get a hang of what they are doing and if things are changing. Why is that important? Well, in search, your competitors actually make up the playing field. So if your competitors are working really hard on SEO, then it will be a little bit harder for you to rank on certain keywords within your niche. So yes, your competitors are very important. Now I'm going to quickly add in a couple of domains of the competitor of this local Maserati of PuenteHills.com. We have, for example, MaseratiSantaMonica.com. Gonna add it in. And of course, we have more. So we click over here on Add Domain. And if your target audience is also international, make sure to change the location to any country that you want. For this example, all these competitors are local in Los Angeles. So I'm gonna add in a couple of domains of them. Once you've added all your competitors, we're going to scroll up and we're going to start with SEO Toolkit. Let's start with SEO Dashboard, the classic SEO as we know it. Click first on the SEO Dashboard. Let's first start with the domain analytics. The first thing we see over here is the authority score. It's a score created by SEMrush itself based on a couple of things, like the current position of your keywords in the search engine, but also your backlink profile, how many websites are linking to your website, and based on that, it's created an authority score. Now, actually, it doesn't say anything until you're going to compare it with your competitors. Then it will all make sense. Then we can see over here the organic traffic, which is an estimation of the amount of visitors coming to your website the upcoming month. Then we can see over here the organic keywords, which shows you how many visitors are actually coming to your website via the top 100 results in Google. Then we can see over here the paid keywords. This number shows you the amount of visitors coming in via paid advertising. On our website, it's 0 right now. And then finally, in this box are referring domains. It shows you how many links from other websites are linking actively to your website. If you hover over it, you can see the difference from the current and the previous month, and if you are growing or losing backlinks. We call them backlinks because they are referring back to you, and they are very important for domain authority. Because if a lot of people tend to place links on their website for your website, then your website must be an authority or must be important. That's the logic that Google and LLMs are using. Then we can see over here all these modules, and you see all these blue buttons. We have to set them up once so we can really use all the tools of SEMrush. So let's first start with the position tracking. Click on Setup. Then we can see a new position tracking campaign, because all your keywords are put in different kind of campaigns, so you can order them, and that's very useful. The first thing we do is select the right search engine. Which one in this campaign you want to track? Is it Google, Bing, Baidu, or ChatGPT? I will be making a dedicated tutorial about tracking keywords and brandings and your URLs inside of LLMs, large language modules, AI overviews, so we know exactly how this works. Subscribe to my channel if you want to be notified when I release this dedicated video. But let's start with the search engine Google. Then we're going to add in a location over here, and it's important to be as precise as possible because, for example, the United States is a really big continent. Are you servicing everybody in the United States? Are people driving 8-10 hours just to visit your store? Can be. If not, make it a little bit more local. In this case, I'm going to enter in City of Angels in the state of California in the United States. Then make sure that your language is the right one. And then we want the volume to show national or just local in the United States. Well, maybe Los Angeles is just a little bit too small, but we can add in a new campaign that says for the entire state of California. That would be very interesting, and maybe you also want to add in another tracking campaign for the entire United States. That's all possible within SEMrush. First, we're going to make it very local. Then for local search, we need to enter in our exact name as mentioned in Google Maps. If you hover over View Example, you can see you have to use the entire exact name. So we go to Google Maps, we find our own listing, it's over here, and I'm just going to select this one and press Copy. Then in SEMrush, I'm going to paste it in over here, and that's it. Then we press on Continue to Keywords. Then fill in all the keywords that you want to be tracking your position on and those of your competitors inside of SEMrush. Now, don't worry if you miss a keyword. We have a lot of tools like the Keyword Overview, the Keyword Magic tool, the Keyword Strategy Builder, and SEMrush will help you adding the right keywords inside of your position tracking campaign. Okay, I have added in a bunch of keywords over there. We have all different kind of things. I just took them from their website. There are different kind of names of the cars, but also financing, Maseratis under 30k, for example, buy new Maserati, buy used Maserati, lease Maserati. All these things are inside of my keyword list. When you're done, you press over here, add keywords to campaign. Now I've added 44 keywords to my current campaign with the limit of 500. When you scroll down, you can see all of them. If you hit on keyword, then you can see all your keywords that you've added to this campaign. If you want to receive weekly ranking updates via email, just keep this enabled and then we press on Start Tracking. Well done, SEMrush will now gather all the keyword data from their own systems and they will run new searches, so all will be great. First we go back to the SEO dashboard. Well done, now position tracking is gathering important data for our dashboard. Then we go to the site audit, click on Setup. Then we can change the settings of our new audit. In this case, this is our website, including all subdomains. If you have subdomains that you also want SEMrush to take into account, add them in over here. We don't have that, so I'm just going to close this. Then over here, we can change how many pages are visited inside of one audit by SEMrush. Now this is very useful because if you have a website with 10,000 of pages and SEMrush will go audit your website in one go, it might be costing your server a lot of resources and you don't actually want that. So let's keep this limit on 100 pages. Now, if you have a very powerful hosting and using a CDN and all these things, then you could go more, but just keep it on 100 if you are in doubt. Then you can check the pages to crawl. Now you can let SEMrush just visit your website and follow all the links on there, but there is also another way. You can also use the robots.txt sitemap, your sitemap URL, or import URLs from a file. I would suggest to use your sitemap URL because, especially if you're using WordPress and you have a SEO plugin, maybe you don't know which plugin you should visit, follow my tutorial over here and I'll show you exactly which of these plugins are the best to use on your WordPress website. But if you have a WordPress plugin, then the sitemap is automatically created and it's something like this. Your website name and it ends on sitemap_index.xml. If you visit this page in your browser, you can see this one is generated by Yoast SEO because this website is a WordPress website and you can see posts, pages, all these things. So let's go to pages. You can see all the pages, even those pages that there are no links from on your website to these specific pages. So this overview is actually better than just let SEMrush crawl your website. Then we can change the schedule when SEMrush is coming by to your website to check all your pages. Should it be weekly or even daily? I recommend this if you have a very big news website and creating every day new content, then it can be useful. But if you just have a brochure website or business website like this specific site, you can just choose weekly and pick a day when there are not as many visitors on your website. In this case, it might be that Saturday and Sunday are the highest volume days and Monday is the day that there are not coming a lot of visitors to your website. In our case, I'm choosing every Monday because I think that's the day that there are the least visitors. I think it doesn't matter so much for your server, but I don't know what kind of hosting you have. Then before we click over here on Start Audit, we go to the crawler options on the left side. Then we can change the crawler settings of the user agent. Now this is important if you're doing business to business or business to consumer. Why? I have clients and when I look at their analytics, 90% of their visitors are coming from a desktop because they're selling business to business. So people are in their offices working on their desktop computers and then they're searching for this company. In this specific case, they are selling business to consumer. So you should keep it on Site Audit Bot for mobile. And then we have over here JavaScript rendering. SEMrush will only render your website as HTML, so just text and images and markup. But if some content is also being generated by JavaScript, that's the same way Google sees your website with JavaScript enabled. And if you have a lot of JavaScript, then like dynamic websites, it should be enabled. However, you have to upgrade to the Guru plan or higher to use this feature. Then we go over here to allow, disallow rules. If you have some subfolders that you have created that you don't want to use within SEMrush, add them in over here. Let's go to the URL parameter rules. Then we need to put in URL parameters, and these are very important for your audits if you have, for example, filters on your website. If you have filters on your website, you can see that the parameter over here is page. So everything after the question mark. On this website, we have a filter to select different kind of used vehicles. So let's go with the features. For example, I want to have all-wheel drive and also Apple CarPlay. You can see over here that we have a question mark, and then we see DFR, and then we see all this kind of types, used, type 1, certified. This is called the parameters that we must filter out in the site audit. In this case, the parameter is _DFR. I don't know why, this is just what it is, and we can see it everywhere. So if you have filters on your website, exactly like this, select it after the question mark, like this, right click and press copy. Then in SEMrush, we're going to paste it in over here, _DFR. And then we go over here to restrictions to bypass. In this case, we can bypass disallow rules in robots.txt and in robots.tag. It's a bit technical and most websites don't have this, but if you're blocking certain pages because you don't want to pollute the search engine with duplicate content, for example, but you want to have them in the site audit of SEMrush, then you can add bypass disallow rules, download this file, upload it to your domain, and then SEMrush will bypass the disallow rules from robots.txt and will audit them all. In this case, this website doesn't have it, and most websites it's not needed. Then you can also crawl with my credentials. Now, this is useful if your website is still under development and you need to log in to see your entire website, but you do want to have it audited by SEMrush. That's all possible. And then we press over here on Start Audit. Preparing to crawl, and then we are being redirected to the site audit. We'll be talking about that in just a minute. Let's get back to our SEO dashboard. Our dashboard is starting to feel a bit like an SEO dashboard. I like this. Then we scroll down and we go to the on-page SEO checker and press on Setup. Then we're first going to select our target location to start collecting ideas. Now, this is very important. In our case, we want the United States, and let's go with the region of California and the city of Los Angeles. The language should be English, and let's choose for device a phone, because I think most of the visitors on this website are coming from mobile devices. Okay, then we press on Continue. Here we can choose the pages to optimize. If you don't have a very big website like this is, you only have 50 pages, you can use the auto import feature. You can also use manually, so just fill in all the pages you like to optimize for a specific keyword. You can also upload a file. Make sure to follow this one. You can also connect it to Google Analytics or Google Search Console. We're going to do that in just a second. And you can also do some organic research, and then it has been sorted by the volume. But remember, all these IDs required units. Units are like credits used for AI systems. So when they're gone, and you cannot get any more ideas. How does it work? So if you have set 100 SEO keyword ideas and there are 10 crawls per paid month, it are 1,000 SEO ideas keyword units per month. And at the pricing plan, you can see the SEO ID units per month, 500, 800 and 2000 in their specific plans. This is the reason why you can also do it manually. So for example, I have a landing page which is called Buy Used Maserati. That's like a landing page and I want to optimize it on the keyword Buy Used Maserati. Like this, I can just add it in over here and then it will only cost me only one. I have to delete all of these ones and then I just use only the manual ones. So in this case, I'm just going with the auto import. Let's go to the crawler user agent. Again, use the SEMrush bot or the Google bot desktop. Let's use the SEMrush bot. And the schedule, we can use it on weekly or never to recollect ideas? And do you want to receive an email every Monday for new ideas? So you get refreshed out of the weekend and you see an email from SEMrush, hey, we have some new ideas for your SEO. That's really great. If you want to receive that, just keep that enabled and we press over here on collect ideas. That's great. Let's get back to our SEO dashboard. Really great. SEMrush is creating our dashboard position tracking site audit on page SEO checker. Look at this. This is going to be great. The next thing to do, we're almost done. 3 left is the backlink audit. Click on setup. Most backlinks are going to your root domain, so let's use that one and go over here to brand settings. Here we can specify our brand name. The brand name is what we use in the marketing to identify ourselves or our product. In this case, I would also add one with spaces, just the way we like to talk about this brand. And then we go over here to domain categories. Now this is very important as SEMrush will determine if your backlinks are toxic or not. But they only know if your backlinks are toxic by knowing what links are not toxic. So we just need to enable all the domain categories that we are in. In this case, this website is definitely in the autos and vehicles category, but we're also talking about maybe hobbies and leisure because, well, having a sports car is a form of a hobby and leisure. And of course, we are also in shopping because you can actually buy them from us. Just select the categories that fit your brand in your website. And then we click on target countries. And then we need to select the countries that are relevant with our target audience. Well, in this case, United States, of course, but then Australia and Belgium. Well, we're actually not in Belgium, and I don't think people from Australia will come to Los Angeles just to visit our store. So I'm just going to keep it on the United States. And then we press over here on Start Backlink Audit. While this is calculating, we go back to our SEO dashboard over here. We're almost done. Let's see how much things we still need to set up. Here we go. We have 2 more. Organic traffic insights and the link building tool. Yes, setting up SEMrush takes a lot of time, but that's because it's a very extensive AI-driven marketing tool. So just take a little bit of time to set it all up. Let's go to organic traffic insights. We're going to uncover the not provided keywords, combining Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and SEMrush data. Then we click over here on Connect Google Account. Then select the account that has access to the Google Analytics and Google Search Console for this specific domain. Click on it. Then we're going to click on Continue. Then click on Continue again. And then we are connected with our Google account. Make sure to select the right account, your right property, the right data stream, and then of course for Google Search Console also the right property. In this case, it's not a client of mine, so I don't have access to the Google Analytics and the Google Search Console, but just fill it in the way it should be and then go over here to location and device. Over here, make sure that the location is correct and all devices, and then we press Go to Organic Traffic Insights. Alright, so now the organic traffic insights will be loaded into here. I will be discussing it later on with another example from another video I created, so you know how this works. But for now, we go back to the SEO dashboard. Then the final thing to set up over here is the link building tool. Press on Setup. Here we have the link building settings for keywords. Make sure to add in the keywords that you use for link building. What that means is if someone uses the by Maserati and they're making a link of those 2 words, by Maserati, and it's going to your website, then that is a keyword you have to put in over here. So in this case, we have all these keywords already that SEMrush has already found in our backlink profiles. And of course also the URL, and then let's also do this one because I don't know if people are linking this way to our website. Just put it in over here and then we press on competitors. Then we have a lot of competitors and then we press on Start Link Building. Let us collect and analyze data right now and we are going back to the SEO dashboard. Then the last thing to do over here is scroll all the way down, and then we can also connect our Google services so we can enrich our dashboard with real-time data from Analytics and the Search Console. So we press on Connect. Then you need to select an account again, press on Continue, and then we press on Select All because then it has access to our Google Analytics data and Search Console data. And we press on Continue. And then again, make sure to select the right Google account, the right properties, and then we press on Save. Well done, now we have set everything up inside our SEO toolkit. All these overviews over here on your dashboard are actually the tools we can find over here on the left side. For example, the position tracking is over here, the site audit is over there, on-page SEO checker is over here. So all these things are just an overview of the right tools. This really gives you a quick overview of what's going on for the last couple of days, or maybe put it on the last 30 days so you have a broader overview. And you can see, hey, are things changing? What is my position? How visible am I? For example, do we have new ideas for the on-page SEO checker? What is the site health? I will be explaining to you all these things, but we're going to do it step by step on the left side to keep it simple and clean. All right, let's start with the domain overview. It's inside of our competitive research. There we go. Now this tool is perfect to get some insights from your biggest competitors, but also your prospective customers. So if you, for example, have a digital agency and you're selling SEO plans, I don't know, you can just put in your prospect and give a whole report so you can show it to your customers with some really nice insights. In this case, I'm going to show you how you can use it on a competitor. So for this, I'm going to add in the Van Nuys Maserati.com, which is also near me in Los Angeles. And make sure to change the location to where it is based, in this case, United States. And then we press on Search. In this analysis, we can see a lot of interesting things. All these things are the same as the SEO dashboard as I've already shown you. So we need to compare them to our own, and then they have a traffic share of 31% of 781 competitors. Now that sounds like a lot. So of all the traffic searching on Maserati cars, 31% is going to this website. So it seems like also the backlinks is 1,500 backlinks. Those are a lot more than our website has. So it seems like this is our biggest competitor inside of this market, which takes up 31% of all traffic searching for Maserati cars. Then we scroll down and we can see distribution by country. Then we have organic traffic and paid traffic. The difference is, did they pay for advertising in the search engines? In this case, 99% is coming from the US. That was a surprise. However, there are some other traffic coming from a few other countries, but those are so little that it's not interesting for us to dive into those one. And then we can see on the right side, we can see organic traffic and organic keywords. Now, this is only for 1 month. It's obviously interesting to go to 6 months, 1 year, or even 2 years to see the big picture of this website. And then we can see spikes here. So it seems that they have hired an agency that is really pushing up their exposure to new views and new clients on the internet. If I just go back to 1 year, we can see over here the organic keywords graph. You can see where their keywords are distributed among the top 100 search results in Google. You can see, for example, on this day, December the 20th, they have 26 keywords in the top 3. Now, remember, the top 3 keywords are the most important in SEO, because if you're not in there, chances are really slim that people can actually find your website, because you just want to be in that top 3. Or else the 4 to 10 is also interesting, but all the other keywords like the next pages are not interesting at all, because it will cost you a lot of clicks. What's also interesting in this organic keywords graph are the updates of Google. As you can see over here, we have these Google logos. You can just click on it. Official update from Google, and it applies globally to all languages. When this Google update was pushed inside of the search engine, you can see that their rankings just dropped very low to an all-time low somewhere around here. So you could say that this graph is partly because all these Google updates. Now, if you see these red comment icons, it means that SEMrush sensor has seen a high activity for the US desktop database, so Google was shaking up things, but they didn't communicate it as an official update. So this means a lot of changes, but no official record as an update, but it definitely is. So this graph really explains sometimes higher rankings or lower rankings because of some updates that Google is pushing through. Then on the left side, we can see key topics and we can press on get topics, but then we need to upgrade to Guru. And with this tool, you can analyze the key topics for this specific website. In this case, it's also about Maserati and the same exclusive car, so I think the key topics are quite the same, but it might not be for all your competitors. Let's scroll down, we can see more organic research information. Starting on top, we can see the top organic keywords. These are the keywords that generate the most visitors to this specific website. Now this information is gold right here. As we can see, they are on position 1 on the Van Nuys Maserati dealership, of course because that's their brand name, but they also rank 1 on Maserati Los Angeles. Now that's a term that I want to be on number 1 with my website and not these guys. Also Maserati Los Angeles, California, they're also ranking on the first places, and I want to have this volume, estimated volume, going to your site. Now if you click over here on view details, you will be redirected to the organic research, and we'll be hitting that in just a second. And I will be explaining you everything about the intent, the position, the volume, the CPC and the traffic amount. Then we also have the top keyword opportunities. If you click on view details, you will be teleported to the keyword gap over there. Now the top keyword opportunities is very interesting because this report will show us the easiest opportunities for us to get ranked on this specific keyword inside of the search engine that we are currently not ranking on. So this will be like the low-hanging fruit, and we can easily implement this, copy it from our competitor, put it on our website and see how it goes with our rankings. So this is a really great tool. I actually love this. Then we scroll down, we have also the keyword by intent. It gives us an idea of the intent which people are typing in search keywords. More about that in just a second. When we click on view details, we go to organic research and you will see exactly what the informational, navigational, commercial and transactional keywords are. So this is going to be great. Then on the right side, we can see SERP features. Now these are the kind of extra information in the Google search results. For example, videos or images or reviews inside of the result page. And the more you have, the better it is because it just draws attention and eyeballs to your results. So that's very good to have inside of search engine result page. That's why it's called SERP features. So you definitely want that, and we can analyze our competitor and see, well, they have quite a lot of them. They have, for example, people also ask, like 66 keywords. That's pretty great. And we have the local pack, 9%. That's not bad at all. And they have 30% of the images. Wow, that's impressive. So they use their images to get more traffic to their website. That's also a very smart strategy to use when you're in the Maserati market, because a lot of people just want to have beautiful pictures of their dream cars. And why not have your dealership car inside of the little branding in the corner so people know where to get this Maserati when they have the money for it. Then we scroll down and we go to the branded traffic trend, telling you that how many visitors are coming through their websites with using the brand name. For example, these keywords. If you say 85% is branded traffic, then it's probably people that already know you from offline campaigns or by driving by or whatever. If this is very low, like 40%, it's actually better because then you reach a lot of people that have never heard of you before. So the trend is pretty interesting to see. Again, on the right side, the branded versus non-branded traffic, we have 78% is branded traffic from 36 keywords, and we have non-branded traffic only 21% globally in the entire year. If we click over here on view details, we are going to organic research and then branded versus non-branded. We're coming to that in just a minute. And when we scroll down, we go to our main organic competitors. Now, this list is created by SEMrush, as those domains do have the same keywords as you and they rank on them. And then we can see that we are competing not only with Los Angeles, but also with Kirkland, Westport, Santa Monica, Anaheim Hills, that's one close to us, and the Champion Maserati, which I already entered as a competitor. So you can use these competitors and put them also in your competitor list to have a look at them. On the right side, we can see a visual competitive positioning map. And then over here you can see, wow, this one has a lot of organic keywords, so they're being found on the top 100 within Google, but they don't drive the most traffic. These guys, Van Nuys Maserati, has the most traffic with a bunch of less keywords. So, well, very interesting to take a look at them really closely. Over here we have advertising research. If they are advertising, you can see it over here. And then we are at the backlinks of this specific competitor. Now this is very interesting. If you click on view details, we go to the backlink analytics and we can see exactly which backlinks does our competitor have and how can we get them also. Because basically more backlinks, links from websites to your website, tells Google and tells the LLMs that you are an authority in this specific market. So it's very important for us to take a look at this and grow accordingly. Then on the right side, we can see the amount of follow links and no follow links this domain has. What does it mean? Well, it's just a technical thing you can do when creating links on your website. And it tells Google that you want to use this link, so link juice will flow through it. So Google will go to that website and also reward it for that link. If you have a lot of no follow links, then that's a little bit weird and you have to change something. And that's not a very good signal to the search engine. In this case, this looks pretty normal and pretty okay. And those are a lot of links to their domain. We'll be discussing this even more when we click on view details. We go over here to the backlink analytics and we can see what's going on. Then we have different kind of backlink types. So are they just text links or are it images that are being linked or maybe some other things? We talk about that for viewing the field report. Then you also have the top anchors. Then you can also see their top domains from where they have received a lot of links. We can dive into that when we go into the details. Also the referring domains, so we can contact them to get some more links, but later on that, because we have an entire tool for that, to get more backlinks. It's called the link building tool. And then finally we have over here the index pages. You can see which pages are indexed within Google and have the most backlinks. Of course, also again, this is another report we'll be talking about later on. Then we scroll all the way up. Then we go over here to these different tabs. Now, I don't want to disappoint you, but if you want to search out different kind of competitors like this, we need to get the Guru plan so we can compare them one by one. That's basically why I always say, if you're going to use SEMrush, go for the Guru plan because it has so much more features than just the Pro plan. But if you want to compare it manually, there's of course a way for it. Click open link in new tab and then you can just go over here and put in your own domain name, press on search. Our organic traffic is just really slow and stable, but our competitor is having these different kind of spikes. So they are really doing something. Their traffic share is 31% and they have 1,500 backlinks. We only have 413 backlinks and we only have 15% market share. So they are doing actually a better job than we. Now it's time for the next topic and this will be really hands-on and practical. One of my favorites is the organic research. If you click over here, you will go to the overview. Now, the first thing we notice in this overview that there are different kind of flags next to the US. So we are now looking at the organic research of my website in the US. But if you go over here, you can do organic research, overview positions and all these changes in Canada. If you click here, you can see all different kind of countries. So you can optimize for those countries with your content. And this might be a big opportunity for you because if you see, hey, we have a lot of visitors from Canada, which is really close, maybe I can optimize my pages for Canada, like buy Maserati Canada, build up a page, see how it works. Or maybe if you're in the Netherlands and you see a lot of people coming from other parts of Europe, like Germany or France, you can translate your entire website to that language. Opportunities are everywhere if you know where to look. Now the overview contains actually all the tabs in here, but then just a summary of all these tabs. So For example, the top keywords, keywords by intent, then we have position changes. All these things are on top over there. So let's go in here and first start with positions. Let's start at the beginning. First, the keywords. This number shows you the amount of keywords driving traffic within the top 100 of the Google result pages to this specific domain. This number over here shows you the difference with the previous month. So less people are coming to our website via the search engine result page. 17%. That's not good, but we can investigate why. Here we can see a little trend displays for the last 12 months. You can also change it over here, do it to 1 year, and you can see the trend of your entire website. But we'll go to that in just a second. Then we have the traffic over here. You can also click on it. And then the 1100 people are an estimate of the upcoming month if everything stays the same and there's no big changes on your website and within Google. So very nice. Then we over here have the traffic cost. If you want to invest in Google Ads, then SEMrush says it might be costing you $3,300 per month to get your pages higher up by paid advertising. Interesting. All right, let's get back to the keywords trend. If you hover over this graph, you can see for any day of the month how your keywords are distributed in the top 100 Google result page. On the left side, you can see the top 3 positions, 4 to 10, 11 to 20, etc. And on the right side, you see how many keywords are in the top 3 or in the 4 to 10 positions or over there. And then we can see some declining going on over there. Maybe if you just turn these off, you can see an easier graph in your top 3 positions, and we can see a negative trend over here, which is not good. You can do this also for the 4 to 10. You can see, hey, we are gaining more 4 to 10 positions because the top 3 is losing positions. They are going lower in the search engines. We can also just scroll a little bit down. We go to 6 months and we can see, hey, this is a negative trend that's going on here and we are not on the good side of the trend. So be aware you are losing positions and those positions are going to the lower places in the search engines. That's not good. All right, so this trend is really interesting to see. Maybe you can also do it for 1 year or maybe 2 years and you can see if your efforts are paying out, or maybe you can see, wow, something is going on. We had a Google update in April 2024, and since then our rankings are down. We need to recover. That's very good knowledge to know because now you can act and do something. What are we going to do? I'm going to show you. Let's close this graph for a second and then we can see one of the most interesting and awesome tables there are within SEMrush. This is gold over here. You can harvest so much good information from here that really gives you actionable advice to improve your website. Let me show you exactly how it works. This entire table has now been sorted on the amount of volume over here. Let's first start on the left side. Those are the keywords. If you click on it, you immediately go to the keyword overview. So I will be showing you that in just a couple of minutes. You can also add in this plus button, we can create keyword lists. Now those lists are getting really important. So hold on, I'm going to explain you that later on because then we can create keyword strategies and lists that we're going to focus on and all these things really, really helpful. If we click over here, we can see the ranked URLs month by month. So this specific keyword is right now in June is ranking on place 46. If you're interested in, hey, we had 2 pages, another pages over here. If you're interested in that one, you have to get the Guru plan and then you can see historical data that some other pages also ranked on this specific keyword Maserati Quattroporte. And then you can see, hey, what has changed? Why is it different now? So that's really interesting to see the trend. Then the next column in here is the search intent. Now SEMrush created a really good blog post about types of search intent, so just pause the video, read this, and then we continue when you're done. And why is the search intent important? Well, it totally depends on the target and the goals of your website. If your target is to do some selling of cars, might be we need transactional keywords are very interesting for our website. But if you want to be in the beginning of a customer journey, so that's like when someone thinks, where can I test drive a Maserati? I don't know exactly which Maserati I want. Then you might want to focus on commercial keywords. The user wants to investigate brands or specific services or specific products. So it all depends on your targets and goals of your website. Then over here we have the positions. You can click on it and then it will sort the entire table of all 590 keywords on the worst position now that you have. But if you click it again, it will be sorted on the best position you have. For example, on the Maserati dealership in California, you have a Google Maps local pack result on number 1, so that's pretty great, but it only brings in 0.36% of your traffic. That's not a lot, but it gives you some information on all the positions that you have. Then in the next column are the SERP features. It will show you by the icons on what kind of search result do you have. Do you have, for example, site links, the little links in the results, or maybe an answer generated by AI inside of Google Gemini. It's all in here. Then the next column is the traffic. Now, this one is very interesting. The amount of estimated traffic driven to an analyzed domain. So you can click on it and you can see, if you're investigating your competitors, for example, how many traffic is being sent through this specific keyword. Of course, your brand name is on top because that drives most traffic, because they actually want to visit your website, your store, your dealership, whatever. Then the next column is all about the traffic in percentage. So you can see how much of the 100% visitors on my website are coming through these keywords. This is a very, very logical and healthy way of driving traffic to your dealership. And we go to the second most interesting column inside of this table, the volume. It's the average number of times people type it into Google every single month, but it's an average of the entire year. So seasons are also calculated inside of this. For example, we have over here 15,000 people each single month in the United States of America type in Maserati Quattroporte. Now, we rank on position 46, so that means a lot of traffic is not going to our website on this specific keyword. Now, combine all this data with the last most interesting column of this table, which is the keyword difficulty. If I click on keyword difficulty, I'm going to rank them by the most difficult keywords. That's not that interesting because Maserati, that's pretty interesting. That won't be a keyword we want to be found on. But if I click on it again, it will be sorted by the keywords that we can rank on very easy. Look at this. Very easy is your chance to start ranking new pages. Why is this interesting? These keywords are actually the low-hanging fruit. So you can create a new page, add in some content, and then you can start selling Maserati parts. For example, it's a commercial intent, very interesting, on our website. Right now we have the URL already /parts. But if you're now thinking, how am I going to rank higher? Help me. No problem, SEMrush got your back. We also have here site audits, on-page SEO checker. We have an SEO writing assistant, topic research, and content template. So SEMrush has all the tools you need to create some good content to rank on these very easy pages. Now, just a little warning about the volume. You don't want to overestimate the amount of volume and optimize for all those keywords. For example, you might say, well, we have only 140 people each single month type in Maserati MC20 lease. You might say, well, I'm not going to optimize a page for that. It's only 140 people. But hear me out. Those 140 people on average are looking for a Maserati MC20 lease. It's long tail. It means the exact brand, the exact type of car, and they want a lease. But what if they come to your website, see, hey, they don't have the Maserati MC20, that's too bad, but they do have other types and other Maseratis that's also pretty nice, similar and comparable to the MC20. And this way, all those 140 people come to your website and might be interested in other cars that you have. Because this keyword is very easy. We can start to ranking with new pages in no time. So why not? Now, also don't forget, all the way at the bottom, you have over here different kind of pages. So you might be at page 1 of 6. Just keep that in mind. Now, to plow through 600 keywords, that's a lot of work. And that's why SEMrush created easy to use filters here on the top. You can go over here and type in, for example, I only want to see the specific keyword that contains part. There we can see 11 keywords with the parts. There we are, and we can make a decision. Hey, this is pretty interesting. We have some volume. It's very easy for us to rank on all these keywords. So there is a market here. We can get some more revenue. So you can filter them by name. You can also filter by positions. We click on it. We go over here to a custom range. We want to see number 2 to number 3. And I'm going to press apply. And now we can see all the keywords that we are ranking on position 2 or 3 within this list. Pretty cool. Now, there's also a way to sort on volume. Click over here. We only want to see keywords that has like this amount or this. You can do that. You can also only show you the very easy keyword difficulty according to your domain and all the calculations SEMrush did and your competitors. So we can start with the low-hanging fruit over there. And this is also low-hanging. Here we are generating pages for and optimizing it in the long run. And of course, the very hard pages just takes a lot of time and a lot of referring and maybe a lot of content to get in there. And then we can also sort it on the intent, the different kind of SERP features. And of course, we have over here advanced keywords. I only want to see the keywords that include the keyword word exactly matching Maserati OM parts or whatever you want to search this entire list by. And if that is not enough, you can also manage your columns. If you click in here, you can see your previous positions and we can actually see a trend. Are we going up? Are we going down? What's happening? Basically, we're going down if not good. And we can also see the cost per click if you're going to advertise it. And we can see the results, and all these things are really amazing. And then the last thing I want to say about this very useful table is you can export all your data to an Excel or CSV file. And then we go to the next step, position changes. In here we can see an overview of how our website is performing in terms of positioning. Here we can see immediately the position change trend. If you see all this orange, that's not very good. It means we have declined in a lot of positions. Let's change this up to monthly and we can see on average we have a negative trend because we are slightly declining and the improvements are just too little. Now, we can see on the right side the top page changes in the last 28 days. For example, this page must be a new page because there's a lot of traffic going through this one. The main website, however, the root domain, is losing traffic. So that's interesting. We really have to see what's going on. And so you can look at all these pages. For example, this pages is a new 2023 Maserati Quattrapolo. If you click on it, my guess is with zero traffic, this entire page has been deleted. Let me see where it goes. Yes, this car has been removed and now we are being redirected to the just the global directory of all the cars they have. That's not a good practice. If you remove a product, make sure that you have a landing page. People can go to that landing page, being redirected to that specific page, and there are brands and types that are very comparable with the one you've just deleted. That would be way better because you already lost me when I'm looking for this specific car. Let's scroll down to this table. Over here we can see exactly the same table, but this time now it's sorted over here because a loss of 20% traffic on this specific keyword is a lot and it's not supposed to be that way. So now you can go over here and fix this page or redirect it to a Maserati page 2024. That would be really useful to change that and to still get all that traffic. By working this with this table, just keep in mind that you're only seeing changes of the last 2 days. If you want to change these days, for example, to last 3 months, you have to upgrade to a Guru plan. You can also see all the improved grown traffic positions of the last 2 days and the decreased traffic positions of all your pages in there. And this is very interesting. Also changes on SERP is very interesting to see what's going on. We have over here significant drops in Maserati Dealer and Maserati MC20 because I think this page has been deleted. So make sure to get all the traffic, even when you delete pages, make sure that there's a good page, especially with this niche. Never forget that all this information is just about the last 2 days. Then we scroll all the way up and we go over here to competitors. The first thing we see over here is a visual representation of the competitive positioning map. On the horizontal axis we can see the number of keywords, and on the vertical one the amount of traffic. What we can see over here is that, for example, this competitor, VanNuysMaserati.com, has the most keywords in the top 100 in Google and also the most traffic. This way we compare our own bubble over here of Puente Hills, which is a little bit smaller than all the others and don't have a lot of traffic to our website. So what you want to have is you have to move your bubble all the way to the up to have the most traffic of all your competitors. And yes, of course, then you have to grow the amount of keywords inside of the search engine result page. If we scroll down, we can see all organic competitors SEMrush has found for us. Here we can see all domains that are competing against each other in the top 100 search results. Then over here we can see the competitive level. The higher they are, the biggest of competitors they are in regards to you. Well, that means this website on top, because that's what we filled in, and these competitors has the highest level, so they have the most same keywords as you and the most same rankings or higher than you. Then over here we can see the common keywords with your website. In this case, 63 common keywords that they are ranking on. Then in this table we can see the number of keywords in the search engine that drive traffic to their websites. In this case they have 63 common keywords, but they're ranking on 680 keywords within the top 100 in Google. Then we can see the amount of traffic being driven by all those keywords and the cost if you were to advertise on that one. And finally we have the paid keywords. We can see which of our competitors is using paid keywords to get something higher in the rankings. And how do you use this for yourself? Well, in this case, the number one is to have a lot of keywords in the search engine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up their website. They're the number one Maserati dealer in the country based on retail sales. That sounds pretty amazing. But what I want to do is see all their pages. So I can go to their sitemap.xml. Why not see if they have one? They have one and it's created with Yoast SEO. So this tells me that there's a WordPress website. So if I also have a WordPress website, then I can outrank them because we have the same websites, we have the same starting position. Then we go to pages and we can see 74 URLs. Let me quickly look at them. Here we are. They have a lot of verses. That's also pretty nice. And when I go to the other one, here we can see they just have a lot of cars, and I think those are all ranking in the search engine. And it seems like they just have a big inventory with 45 cars right now. And if they play it smart like I would do when I delete one or I sell one, I'm just gonna create a simple page with other cars that look a lot like that one, but not exactly the same. So this list gives you an idea of who are your competitors online. It really doesn't matter which one sells the most Maseratis, because this is purely about online competing. This guy only has 3 cars in his backyard. Yes, but online he is one of your biggest competitors. So make sure to outrank him on all the keywords that you want to rank on. All right, we scroll up and we go over here to topics. Now, if you have the Guru plan, you can see a list of the best performing topics per website. Very interesting to see this one, but again, we need a Guru plan. If we go to pages, here we can see an overview of all your pages that are ranking organically in Google, and we can see a lot of different interesting things. Here we can see the amount of traffic of all these pages being generated, the difference. So this is a big grower because I think it's a new car put on their website. Here the percentage of traffic that's being generated. And here are the amount of keywords that are generating all this traffic. So 19 different keywords are driving this traffic to our website. If we hover over here, we can see of all those 19 keywords, the intent of those keywords. Then over here we can see if there are ads running on these pages. We don't have that. And then we have an interesting one, which are the backlinks. If I press on show, it will calculate the amount of backlinks for this specific page that SEMrush has found. Now, this one is a new page, so we have no backlinks. Then we go to parts, also no backlinks. Here we go. We have 30 links to used vehicles. Why on earth would you call this used vehicles? If I was the Maserati of Puente Hills, I would create /used Maserati, /used BMW, /used Ferrari. I would use all those pages to rank high in the search engine, especially when driving local traffic to my website. It seems like they never thought about SEO and they just put everything inside of used vehicles. I would create a broader approach and get all that traffic to my website and be the number one on the internet. Why not? If you were also to click on this button, you will go over here to the backlink analytics. We'll be covering that in a couple of minutes. Then we go over here to subdomains. If you have subdomains, they're in this list and you can see exactly how much traffic it gets, what the percentage is, and how many keywords are ranking in the top 100 in Google. Let's go to the next tool in our competitive research toolkit, the Keyword Gap. Now, this is also a place where money is being made because you can add in your own domain over here, select organic keywords, and add in competitors of you. This one is the number one right now. I'm going to add in a couple of more. And also the Champion and the Van Nuys has also a lot of keywords. And then I'm going to press over here, compare. The first thing we see on the left side are the top opportunities. Now these are very interesting because Service Maserati is just another revenue stream. If you have a garage, you're not only selling them, but you're also fixing them. Then we are just actually missing those keywords right now. We are nowhere in the search engines. So this is something we really have to add in. And then we also have Career Maserati. Well, maybe if you're looking for car mechanics, then you can just add these to your website. There's a bunch of volume on it, so you might get all these vacancies quickly filled up. Then you also can switch to week. This is interesting. I can see two top opportunities. Maserati of Santa Monica, just create a landing page. Then you can show where you are based and how many cars you have. And why not just try to get in the top 3 position and drive some traffic to your website. And the brand new Maserati for sale. This is a no-brainer. Just put on a landing page specifically for the brand new Maserati for sale, because it's a bit of a long tail and we can actually utilize this to create new pages. Then let's go to the right side to the keyword overlap. We can see over here where our competitors are overlapping our own keywords. So we are the blue one, Maserati of Puente Hills. If I go to this spot, you can see that we have shared 69 keywords. And the numbers below are the total amount of keywords that your competitors have. Well, very interesting. Now you know, hey, we overlap only 69, but Van Nuys Maserati is actually my direct competitor, maybe. Why do we only overlap 69 keywords? Very interesting, so you can be a bit ashamed of yourself that you're not competing with more keywords. However, we're going to scroll down because we want to fix this. Then let's take a look at this table. First we have the keyword, of course, then we have the intent of the specific keyword, and then we can see all the positions of this specific keyword in Google Search, Google Product, or Google Paid Search. Then we can see the volume, then we can see the keyword difficulty. For us, how difficult is it to rank on? Well, it's fairly difficult. Then we have the cost per click, the competition, and then the last one is the amount of URLs shown when someone types this into Google with 12 million results. That's a lot. Now, this entire list gives you a very good idea where the low-hanging fruit is. Just sort it on keyword difficulty. Click on once, click on twice, and then we can see immediately some low-hanging fruit, Maserati service schedule and service specials, that we can use to boost our rankings. I can imagine that you want to save different kind of these keywords so we can create later on some SEO writing assessment, do some content templates creating, and make some content for us. So what you do, you click over here on this plus icon to create a first list. The list we are going to create is going to be low-hanging fruit. We're going to save this list. And then this keyword has been added to the low-hanging fruit. You can do this with all the keywords. Just press on this plus icon. It's been added to low-hanging fruit. If you want to create a new one, create new empty list, enter the name, and it's being saved. Now I've added a couple of these low-hanging fruits to my list so we can use that later on to create some real SEO content for it. If we go up again, we can see also the missing keywords. So these are the two that we definitely want to have as low-hanging fruits. So I'm just going to add them in over there, maybe careers also. And then we have the weak keywords. These are the keywords that we can easily rank on. Look at this, brand new Maserati for sale. Just create a specific landing page. Why not? Just add it in. Maserati of Santa Monica could be interesting. Well, all these things, just check them out and see if we are going strong and good on those ones. But the most interesting one of the entire list is the untapped. Now we have a list of all these keywords that we are not ranking on any of them, but my competitors are doing that. Now, if you then sort them by keyword difficulty, we can see that it's very easy to get rankings on these. So then we're just going through the entire list and see, well, what kind of things do we actually have? We also have green Maserati Levante, so I'm just going to add it in. Then we scroll down, Maserati Auto Repair. That's a good one because we do repair Maseratis. Let's add them in. We also sell Maserati emblems. Why not? Well, this is all the things you can add into your low-hanging fruit because there is no place that we are mentioned in. But if we scroll up, we can also sort this entire table on the amount of volume. For example, the Maserati Gran Cabrio. And if I have that one, why not create a specific landing page for it? Because it has a lot of volume and the only one who's taking up all that volume is over here, my competitor, MaseratiSantaMonica.com. And it's even very low, it's in the 78th place. But you actually want to have high volume and an easy keyword difficulty, that must be this one. 3,000 search volume each single month, and only my competitor Van Nuys has it. And it has the 2024 Maserati Gran Turismo. Bang! I'm going to create a page about that because I know that car, I had it or I can sell it. I'm just going to put it in and it's easy to rank on this specific page. Great, let's also do the Maserati Levante. Why not? And then, oh man, this is such a amazing tool which you could really use to analyze all your competitors, get the best pages on that, just create pages, create content around it and be the number one in your niche. It's all possible with SEMrush. I love it. I really do. All right, now you know how this tool works. Let's go to the next tool, which is the backlink gap. Also very important. What's a backlink? Basically, if another website links to your website, that's a backlink. Simple like that. Backlinks have a very high value because when there's being a lot of talk about your brand or your website, then Google might thinking, well, this might be an authority on this specific topic in this niche. So in this case, the more backlinks we have compared to all our competitors, the better we can do in the search result. When you open up the chart, then we can see first the authority score generated by SEMrush, and if we just hover over it, you can see numbers. Basically, the higher authority score you have, the better it is. But we can see that the highest authority score is actually always Van Nuys Maserati. He's always the number one. Then we go to the right side, we can see all referring domains, the trend of it in the last 12 months. We can see that the Maserati of Eyenheim Hills is actually declining in the amount of links and the rest of the competitors are just staying a little bit the same. Or wow, look at this. ChampionMaserati.com is growing significantly every month. You see that? So they are actually increasing their link building strategy and that makes them more of an authority domain in the upcoming years. So you have to keep in mind of all your competitors. What I also noticed is that Maserati Fuento Hills is not doing a really great job. It's growing a little bit, but not that hard. So we could definitely improve. Right, let's close this chart. The next table is all about prospects of different kind of websites we can call or we can email them to try to get a link to our website. How does this work? It has been default sorted on matches. That is the amount of links that your competitors also have. So it's way easier to get a link because, hey, you fit perfectly inside of their directory. So what to do with this list? Well, you have this beautiful blue button here, Start Outreach. Yes, SEMrush has a dedicated link building tool, which I think is still the best of the entire SEO market, because it makes it very clear to whom you are mailing, have you followed up, all these things. I'm going to show you that in just a few minutes. It's amazing. But how to add them to that list? You just select the ones you want to do. So for example, I'm just going to select all of these, and then I'm going to press on Start Outreach over there. The project is just the power project we have. So we're going to select this one, and then we press on this button, Send Prospects. And then our prospects has been sent to our link building tool. We'll be covering that in a couple of minutes. It will be awesome. Let's get back to the backlink gap. After you've done it, you can also sort this list by weak, strong, shared, unique, and all prospective domains that you have found. If you select them on all, you can go over here to search for the authority score. Now, of course, Bing.com has a very high authority score, and you can see all of these things. Well, maybe I can get a link from them to my own website. That's all possible. But a link from sixflags.com, that sounds a little bit off. I don't know, could be interesting. The best thing to do is just to go with the best domains, because they're also ranking with all the other competitors of you, and the chances that they are willing to add in a link of your website is just really high. But I'm going to show you that later on in the link building tool. All right, we have talked about all the competitive research. Now let's go to the tools from Keyword Research in our SEO toolkit. Let's go to the keyword overview. Here we can check the keyword difficulty, the competition, the trends, the amount of traffic, all these things within the keyword overview. Now, the first thing we need to do is enter in keywords separated by comma. Let's go with just these three, and then also put in your domain name over there and press on search. And then when we scroll down, we can see all the bulk keywords analysis of the keywords I've just entered. Now, if you have a lot of matrices that need to be updated, just click on this button and you can update all the matrices of all keywords at the same time. Now, what do we see over here? Of course, the keyword again, the intent in here, the volume that's being typed into Google every single month. Then we see the trend in here, very interesting. And then this column is the potential traffic generated by the AI of SEMrush that shows you, well, you can get a lot of traffic on these keywords, but it's very difficult for your website to rank on, because this is the personal keyword difficulty, and it's very hard for our website to rank on these specific keywords. The keyword difficulty is very easy, but on your website, but then it's possible, but you have to put in the hours, and it's normally very easy. But for our personal keyword difficulty, it is very difficult. So then we get a different list than the keyword gap, because we can now see the personal keyword difficulty generated by SEMrush on our website. So that's very interesting to use those both tools. Now let's go over here back to overview, and then we can dive in more into all these keywords that we've just filled in. Just 4 keywords, not that much, but then you can see, hey, there's our 25 million results. Your potential is over here, so that's pretty bad. And we can see why. All these websites are from Maserati.com, Carfax.com, Maserati.com again, Car Gurus, all these really big domains which have years and years in the work of SEO. So outranking these ones are a bit hard. But now you know that don't focus on these keywords just yet. Maybe in the long run, buy Maserati. But I think it's not worth the trouble. All right, let's go over here to the Keyword Magic tool. In this case, we're going to change this keyword to Maserati Los Angeles. Why not? Let's go with that one. Again, we have different kind of metrics, but they are not loaded in. So what are we going to do? We're going to update all these metrics for 164 keywords right now. There we go, 100 pages. When the information comes in, we can see that it's now sorted on the amount of volume. On the left side, and then we can see all these keywords generated in combination with leads. If you don't do leases at all, we can just hide this entire keyword, and then it's been excluded over here. And this will get us a way more clean list for all the keywords that are relevant to us. The same applies to this one. To create our keyword list, we just select a bunch of them, press on Send Keywords, We can send them to the keyword strategy builder. We'll be doing that in just a second because it's the next one. Or you can send it to position tracking so you can really take a look of it and track it daily so you see what's going on with your effort. And make sure to check out clear selection after sending, or else it will still be selected and maybe you want to add in more keywords to another list. There we are, low hanging fruit. Now we have 14 keywords of the 2000 in this list. What's also very interesting is to go through all keywords, broad match, phrase match, exact match, or related. This way we can generate a lot more keywords, and also the personal keyword difficulty is very easy for us. But if you want to sort it on potential traffic with the highest one on top, that's also very interesting because now we can see what can bring in the most volume, the most traffic to our website according to SEMrush. Then of course we get the usual suspects, but if we scroll down, we can see even more interesting things. And those are the long-tailed keywords exactly on the make and model of these cars. You can do so much higher rankings with just all the different kind of cars. It's like, man, if I was a car dealer, I would be a millionaire right now. Definitely. All right, let's go to the next tool, which is the Keyword Strategy Builder. For this tool, we can use domain-based keyword strategies, which I think is really gold. You can also use keyword key base, so put them in over there, or you can add in a gigantic list of manual keywords. But I really like the domain-based keyword, AI powered. So I'm just gonna put in my domain name, select the right country and press on create. Now look at this. This is pure gold. We have 72 keyword pages generated. It's an entire SEO content strategy using topics, pillar pages and sub pages. I'm going to walk you through this so you know exactly how it works and how you can use it to improve your own website. Now you have to look at all these topics as pillars. Within these topic pillars, you have different kind of topics to create the entire topic. You can compare it with a book actually. And when I open up this book, I can see all kind of topics or chapters inside of my book. So we can create different kind of pages and content so we can try to get all the traffic that is looking for this specific topic. Some things might be very good. Some things you think like, I don't know. New Maserati Quattroporte for sale in City of Industry. That's a part of Los Angeles. What do we see on the first one? What kind of car does the Penguin drive? That's informational intent. Could be interesting for your website, but it's not the low-hanging fruit. Also over here we have the commercial intent and the transactional intent. Now those are the topics that we want to create content for first. So what would I do in this case? I would create a new page called on the website maseratiofpuentohills.com/quattroporte/ and then we go 2014 /2019 /2020 /2021 /2013. So this way we have a topic, the Maserati Quattroporte, and inside we have all this content, all linking back and forth to each other with internal link building, pictures of it, content on it, all of this inside of this content pillar, so we can try to get some of that traffic. Now SEMrush has created 72 content ideas for our website. So what do we do when we have all these topics? We click over here, create brief or content. The bad news is this feature is not yet released, but it's coming really soon. I have seen a version of this tool and it's really amazing. It just creates pages for you with all kind of content in it, all by AI. It is really perfect. You just read it, change a bunch of things that you don't like, and it's just perfect for copy pasting on your website. It's really beautiful. So if you want to be notified, press on notify me. But you can also use this tool with specific manual keywords. Just click over here to go to all lists. And then we are back here and we can see our keywords list that we also created. Let's use the low-hanging fruit. If I click on this one, if we now want to create the same keyword strategy with all the pages, we can go over here to pages or click over here on cluster this list and we press on create list. The problem is we have actually too few keywords to create profitable pages. We can add more keywords. Maybe you already have one. I'm just gonna press on cluster list anyway. And again, we can open these up and we can see here some of our competitors with other similar pages. And we can just create a content brief or write content for these page keywords. Now what to do next? Of course, we can send this to the Content AI feature. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. And then we can let SEMrush create our content for us. It's not entirely free and it depends on the plan we have with SEMrush, but I'm going to show it to you and it's really powerful and amazing. For now, you know exactly how the Keyword Strategy Builder works, and you can use this as a really powerful tool to create a keyword strategy for your website. All right, let's go to the next tool in our toolkit, which is the position tracking, which is very important if you want to measure all the things we're doing on SEO for our website. This page is basically an overview of all these sub pages over there. Now, this is the summary for the past 30 days. Visibility going down. We can see what has improved, what has been declined. It's very interesting to see all this summary. If we click on View Report, you will be sent to the overview page. So we'll be discussing that in just a second. If we then scroll down, we can see over here the ranking distribution from the last 2 days. Here we have 1 in the top 3 and now it's gone. That's not good. So we have 6 improved and 10 declined. Something bad is going on our website. Over here we can quickly see the positive impact, the negative impact on the keywords for your website. We have the top keywords over there. We can add tags. We can see our market traffic versus selected domain trends. You might be adding some competitors to here. I recognize this one. I recognize Santa Monica. Let's just use these two as our competitors. Press Save Changes. And then we can compare our website to the competitor's website and we can see what's happening. Our website has declined in visibility and our competitors has grown in visibility. That's not good. We have to really work on it. Then we can see over here the SERP features, our pages that has been improved or declined. And then if you upgrade your plan, we can see visibility by locations. So if you're doing business all around the world or all around Europe or all the way in the United States, it might be interesting to upgrade to Guru or Business, because then we can create different kind of projects for different kind of locations inside the world of inside the US. When you scroll down, we have also cannibalization health. The report, when you click on this one, we will be going to the cannibalization report over here. So I'll be explaining that to you in just a minute. Let's first go in here to overview. Here we first see this line of our visibility. It went down by 2.5%. You can also go to estimated traffic and we can see that has been grown just really slightly, not that big. And we can see the average position of our website is 66.23 and we have a slight increase. That's not that much. And if we then scroll down, we can see all the keywords that we have been tracking for our website. If we then click on one of these keywords, we can see the positions being changed in according to the last month. And then we can also see our personal keyword difficulty, the potential traffic, and the potential growth rate. Very interesting to see and to keep an eye of all your rankings that's going on your website. Now, what can we do with this information? Of course, you can show these results inside of your business by exporting it to a PDF over here or export it to an Excel sheet again, and it's all possible. When you click on the PDF button, you can also choose to create an online dashboard, but it will create a PDF record which you can email to anyone you want. Then you can also create a completely custom PDF report if that's what you want, and you can send it to, for example, your colleagues. Then let's go over here to the rankings distribution. Here we can see the ranking distribution of all our competitors. So we can see, hey, the visibility is this percentage. We only have 2.5% and Van Nuys is doing a way better job with 14%. Here we can see the difference of that visibility. And remember, the visibility score is created by SEMrush itself, so it only makes sense if you're comparing it with your competitors. We can see the estimated traffic, then we can see the amount of keywords in the top 3, the top 10, 20 and top 100. So you can really compare yourself with, hey, my competitors are doing a way better job and Van Nuys Maserati.com is actually doing it way better than all the other competitors. This is a really great overview to put yourself in perspective of your biggest competitors. Then we go over here to tags. Here we can group and analyze keywords by tags. If you have a lot of them, it might be useful, but then you need a guru plan. If we then go to pages, we can see a list of almost all of our pages on our website right now and how they're doing with the estimated traffic, the average position, and the total volume. And the beautiful thing of this is you can see where the difference is and you can investigate it and see, hey, Finance Maserati has dropped, and also the Maserati under 30K has dropped its position. That's not good. We have to fix this, create new content, update this page, do whatever you need to do to get all these rankings back. This is a very useful tool if you, for example, want to track your specific landing pages that you created using the Keyword Strategy Builder. And then you're like, hey, what are those pages actually doing in the search engines? This is your place to go to and keep track of those pages. Now you can also sort this by new and you can sort this by last, so you can see exactly what's going on your website. Let's go to cannibalization. If you have a Guru account, you can see here which content of your own website is fighting with each other for the right spots inside of the search engine result page. Because if you have the same content targeting at the same spots inside of the search result page, it will not work, and Google is like, well, what page should I rank? They're both relevant and they're cannibalizing each other. So this is a very useful overview if you have a lot of content and you're afraid of some content overlapping or cannibalization. This is the place to go. Then we can go over here to the competitors discovery. Now, this is broader than just your own local competitors. No, this is the online map. So it might be shown, for example, youtube.com, because YouTube is also showing videos inside of the search engine result page that will push down your own pages. Now, a solution would be, of course, to get yourself on YouTube and optimize those videos also to come inside of the search engine result page. That would be logical, but we have all these different things. Reddit, you can also place your own Reddit posts. You can influence this a little bit. Our competitors online are just also Maserati.com, CarAndDriver.com. They're also ranking on the same keywords that I want to rank on locally, Los Angeles, or within the United States. So this is a good overview that gives you an idea of who are my real competitors also online, and can we do something about it, or is it just the way it is? In this case, if you think, yeah, Maserati, there's really nothing we can do about that one. Of course it ranks. Van Nuys, I'm gonna get you. And then we have Car and Driver. Maybe we can do something with that. I don't know what it is. Let's go over here to devices and locations. For this, we need to upgrade our plan, and then we can see from which part of the world they're coming and what language they speak, and also what device are they using to search for your keywords. Then we go to featured snippets. In here, we can see how many featured snippets we have, and we have actually 0. That's not really encouraging, so we should create something like images or videos that will pop up also inside of the search engine. And I would also like to see my website be mentioned inside of Google Gemini or ChatGPT. All right, now you know exactly what the position tracking is. Very useful tools to keep an eye on your positions and your pages inside of all these search results, and compare them, of course, with your competitors. Let's go to the next tool, which is the Organic Traffic Insights. The Organic Traffic Insights is basically a combination of Google Analytics and Google Search Console and all the SEMrush data. It tells you how long people are actually on this page before clicking to the next one. And that makes you wonder, because if the average engagement time is 2 minutes, whoa, that's very long. People are looking at that a very long time. But if it's just 3 or 2 seconds, then they just scan it and click on the next page to find something else. Well, that gives you a lot of valuable information about why are my forms not converting. Maybe we need to add in a call to action higher on the page. Maybe we need to make it better understandable with better titles, images next to it, so you can improve your website using conversion optimization. All right, let's go to the next tool, which is the Backlink Analytics. Now, I really love this tool. Why? SEMrush has its own backlink analytics tool with its own bots that crawl the internet and adds in new domains within 40 minutes once they appear online. Now that's really interesting. Why are backlinks important? Well, they can improve your search engine rankings, drive referral traffic, increase your authority, very important for AI, and help search engines discover and index your content faster. Now just let's get started. Fill in your own domain name, and in the tool we can compare it with our biggest online competitor. So we press Analyze. Then we can see this beautiful overview, and again we're going to talk about all these steps because these are really interesting. But let's also add in your competitor. Go with Van Nuys because they have the biggest online presence, and we're going to press on Compare. Our authority score is generated by SEMrush. It's only 11 compared to his 32. Higher is better, so I want also to have that. They have referring domains 174. However, they have 1500 backlinks and we just 413. That's weird. They also have more referring IPs than us. Way more IPs. What's an IP? Well, every server is hosted on a computer. That computer is somewhere in a hosting company, and all these computers have different kind of IP addresses. The more referring IPs you have, the better it is because it's from different websites, different servers all around the world. So that's even better. Then SEMrush also had the monthly visits. Well, that's an estimation because we don't know exactly how many people will click a referral list on a directory website, for example. And this might bring in 3,000 organic traffic visitors. I don't know, could be. It's an estimation of SEMrush. Then we have our authority score in the last couple of months, really great. And then we can see the referring domains, which is growing rapidly for our own website and also that one of vannuysmaserati.com. Great. Then we scroll down and we can see the backlink types. We have text, images, forms, and frames. Most of them are text. Then we have link attributes. Remember, the follow is what you want. And they have a lot more follow than no follow per sponsored. Wow. So we're going to investigate why this is and trying to get also those links, because in SEO, if you want to grow your domain authority, you just need to have the same amount of better amount or higher amount of links than your competitors. And it's doable because if they can do it, I should be able to do it, right? So be hopeful. If you scroll down, we can see the top categories of referring domains. We'll be looking at that a little bit closer later on because it doesn't really say anything about it. Then we have the authority score. Most of them are from this one and a few with high authority. All right, interesting. Then we have the top link building opportunities. Yes, I love this. Van Nuys Maserati has a link on Maserati.com, Bird Eye site like the Autopien and the Autoparari.com. These have a lot of monthly visits, so also their authority score is pretty high. Now, if I'm also selling Maseratis, then why am I not on Maserati.com? It's like the first place you should be. So we definitely need to make a link building strategy, and it's over here, the link building tool. I'll be showing you that in just a minute. It's really, I love it. Let's go first to the network graph. This profile looks natural, has a lot of backlinks from relevant domains, which is highly valued by search engines. All right, this is important. If you have a red bar over here, that's not good, and you can actually remove links from the Google Search Console, disavow them, because bad links will hurt your website. Now, if we scroll down, we can see a lot of domains. We have this beautiful network graph. How does this graph work? Well, basically you can quickly evaluate a domain's backlink profile and its relevance within a category. With this, you can also detect private blog networks like this red one. We don't know exactly what it is, and if it's shady, it is red, so it's flagged. And also the green dots will show the domains from the same category as the analyzed domain. Backlinks from these domains really help search engines understand the analyzed domain category, ultimately benefiting its ranking. Yes, that's what we want. The bigger the dot, the higher the domain authority score. That's pretty awesome. The red dots just indicate that this is a manipulated backlink profile that are usually combined into a link farm. So possibly a shading website, and you definitely don't want to have a lot of red dots. That's a red flag you don't want to. Now, what makes a good backlink profile? If you see a lot of these green dots, and the bigger they are, the better it is. All right, let's scroll up, and then we go over here to our actual backlinks. Here we can see all backlinks data, the best backlinks, the top new and the lost and vital backlinks. Let's just look at all backlinks, and here we can see we have 413 backlinks over there. We can export this entire file to an Excel or CSV. In the table below we can see all the backlinks sorted at the page authority score. What we first of all see is that our highest domain is just 22, while the number goes up to 100. So it seems that we don't have very high authority score websites. Now, if we then scroll up, click on this one, then you see the best backlinks that we have and how active they are. You can also filter them with these buttons over here. Now then we have good backlinks, but then we can see this, best wide dark hat link building for your website. These are just most of the time hacked websites, automated hacks that send in a lot of like these pages to your website. If you click on it and you visit it, exactly like this is Dutch, it says a threat has been found. It's a script inject Trojan horse to your PC. So these websites are definitely hacked, but they are linking to you, so you can see in a Google Search Console and tools like SEMrush, you can see, wow, these guys really know how to build link building for your website. Well, trust me, if they're hacking other websites to get your attention, it's not a good partner to generate backlinks. So please never ever work with these guys, because these guys are just shadier than a forest at midnight visited by a raccoon with sunglasses. Then we click over here on top new 17 recently acquired backlinks. This looks pretty nice. We have website lists over here, sounds legit. Where to buy H domains and backlinks, spam. But if you want to clean this list up, you can just select all of these spam links. Is you want to disavow these links within Google. Google has built the Search Console, and then you can disavow links as URLs or as domains. If you see a lot of links from the same domain, then you can just disavow an entire domain, or you can just disavow separate URLs from these domains. In our case, we have a lot of spam from all kinds of hacked websites, so we're just going to disavow this entire domain. So we click on this one. Then a disavow list has been uploaded to our backlink audit campaign. It's over here. I'll be showing you that in just a second. You need to upload that one to Google Search Console, the disavow list, and then Google Search Console will disavow this link, so to make sure that that value is not being pushed to your website, because it can actually negatively impact your website rankings if you have links from all of these shady websites. This is the way you can use this. If you go to lost and vital, finally, you can see different kind of domains where you have lost a link that has been removed. How would I use it? Just go to this list, see which links are still working on this website, and you can ask them, why did you remove my link? Can we add it back in? I think it's real value. All these things we will be talking about in the link building tool. Now there's also another cool feature. If you just click on this link, and then it will just analyze this specific link. And you can see all these things about the authority score, the monthly visit, everything you can see about this domain. So that's pretty nice, but we can see a really bad thing going on here. This also feels like a bit of a shady website, because this is not a normal way to grow backlinks. Normally it goes really slowly and then it stays there. It just doesn't drop down to almost what it was. So it feels like also they're hacking websites, placing shady links. So this also could be a link that you want to disavow at Google Search Console, because it's just some shady website probably created to get your attention, or I don't know. And then the next step is to go to anchors. Now this list gives us an idea of the tags that are being used to link to your website. The most backlinks should be your domain name or your brand name. Both of these are great. It's a healthy backlink profile, because people mostly link to your website using one of these two. But if you have on top over there, it's Maserati dealer Los Angeles, then it could be a little bit shady, and Google might think, hey, you're just buying links from other domains because it's not natural, it's not healthy. That could be the case. So this looks pretty normal, and we can see Maserati, we can see website. So this link profile looks actually pretty great. How can you use it? Well, it's basically an assessment of your website backlinks and the anchor tags being used, and you would like to have more on your focus keywords. So for example, Maserati dealer Los Angeles or buy Maserati, lease Maserati. And it should be somewhere in here in the top 10. Because if you would like to have more domain authority on that specific keyword, you will need more backlinks. Then we go over here to referring domains. It's an overview of all lost and gained domains for your website, and also with the country with it, the IP, first seen, last seen, a really good overview. Now this list is pretty interesting, but it's even more interesting to see what your best competitors are doing online and how their backlink profile is looking. So you just fill in over here your competitor, and then you can see exactly where their domains are coming from, and we can ask them to put our website on those websites also, and maybe we get some more domains referring to our website. Then we go to index pages, and then we can see all index pages which also have backlinks to them. Now this is a very interesting list, and I really like this tool, especially when you click on this link, broken pages. Now you can see all the links that are not working anymore, but are still having backlinks. So from 8 backlinks, from 8 domains, 1 domain, all this juice is just going lost. So in this case, what would I do? I would create a redirect in my website from this URL and this and this and this one to still get that link juice to my website. Just redirect to another page that is logical, looks a little bit the same, or has the same content for the backlink, so that the value is still being used. Because this is just wasting link juice, and that's really a shame, like teaching your dog a trick and he only does it when no one's watching. Then we go over here to the outbound domains. This is a place where you can see links from your website going through other websites. Now this is pretty good because Google doesn't like a dead end. So when the internet stops at a website, it can't crawl to other pages. It dislikes your website. So now what are you looking for? You're looking for things that are out of place. For example, 2,378 links from your website to another website. That's not logical, could be spam, could be malicious, but in this case, it is because of the version history of the cars. So they're linking to that. Why are you linking to, you're linking Windows stickers to Maserati.com? I would suggest to put all these links to Maserati.com on nofollow. Why? Because these are one of the biggest competitors on the online space for your own website. So why give them even more link juice? That's not logical, so put all those links on nofollow, and no link juice will be sent out to one of your online competitors. Logical, and just do it. Then we have over here the last one, competitors. To see your competitors, connect your Google Search Console, and you can see a lot of information here. Could be interesting. And then you have referring IPs. This way you can see how many links from how many domains are coming to your website. If you see a weird number, like one IP number, and you see like 50 domains from one IP number, that's shady. You should investigate it, maybe disavow them, block them, because that's not working in your benefit, my friend. So you really should fix that. All right, now you know everything about analyzing backlinks of your own website and those of your competitors. Let's go to the backlink audit. Then of course we select our project. Ooh, our overall toxicity score is high. That doesn't look very good. What do we have? This is the overview. We have new toxic domains for potentially, we have error pages, backlinks affected, and then we have backlink with dangerous markers. Wow, this really doesn't look very good. So let's scroll down and take a look at this. If this is what your website looks like, oh, that's really hurting, because this really hurts my rankings, and it might explain why we are losing rankings all this time. Let's scroll down and investigate further. We see all the referring domains, we see broken, lost, backlink analyzed, really great. The domains by toxicity score only works right now because SEMrush has just started crawling this site and checked out their backlink profile. All right, what do we have to do? We have to review toxic backlinks, potentially toxic, and we have 121 non-toxic. Now these are good, these are not good, and these are just really bad. So we really need to take a look at this. Let's scroll down, we can see the top 100 referring domains, looks pretty nice. And then we scroll down, we can see the top 5 target pages which actually respond in a 404. This is just really dumb. We have 3 domains linking to this GPG file. Well, if they're linking to it and they're not stealing it because they're embedding in their own website to show us a picture, then you should really upload this picture again or make this a redirect to a page so people click on it and go to the page of the buying the Maserati Quattroporte. For example, I would do that. Then we have over here the backlinks by link attributes and by link type. All interesting information, but I'm a bit worried about the toxicity of our domain. How we can see that? We go over here to audit. Then we can see we have 16 potential link network. What is a link network? It's basically a bunch of websites created all together and they're linking to each other to create more domain value and authority score. But if SEMrush detects this is a link network, of course Google would also do that, and then they will devaluate your website because they're linking to your site. This is really bad link building, and it could be the case if you hire some shady business that just doesn't know how to do it. If we then scroll down, we can see over here this table with 252 links that we need to review. These are really where to buy H domains, all these spam websites created by automated heads. Look at this, it's insane how many there are. Now what we can do with this list is just select all the ones that you want Google to devaluate so that their toxicity doesn't shine on your website. You can just click over here on this actions, move to disavow list. Just click on them, the entire domain, move to disavow. All right. Now with all these domains, you can basically do two things. You can ask them to remove your website by sending them an email. But as these are spam links created on hacked websites, the owner of the website is really sleeping on his website, or else he would already remove the entire hack. We need to disavow them. This is another option. It tells Google not to take into account all these links referring to your website because you didn't ask for it. It's not worthy to anybody. It doesn't provide any worth to the market, so you can ask Google to remove them. We are getting there in just a second. You have to do this with all the backlinks that are actually toxic. So you can just go over here, go to the toxicity score and make it 60 to 100. These pages are definitely toxic. We need to disavow all of them. So select them all and press on disavow them, move them to disavow. Very important to do this and upload this list to Google Search Console in just a second, because all these links are really hurting your rankings. So we need to tell Google that, hey, I didn't ask for it. These are just malicious. Let's remove them and don't take them into account for our value. I just hate these guys. Why are they doing like this? They're just ruining your and my business. This is just bad. All right, make sure to review all these links. Yes, that's very important, and make sure to add them all to the disavow link if you're sure that these are just shady websites. All right, let's go over here to remove. I have put one URL inside of the remove box. How does it work? Well, it's basically a very good tool to track how things are going on. You can just send them an email. If you click on this one, you can send an email. You need to find the domain owner's email address manually. And then there is an entire template. You can send it to the domain owner, and basically it's asking, I'm working on cleaning the website and need your help removing some links from your site. So this is the manual way. You can send it via SEMrush, but you can also send it manually. Click on this one, I've sent it manually. And then the status of this email will be changed inside of the SEMrush system. This is a really great system, never seen it on other tools. It just works. So now on my remove list, I can see I have sent this one, manual connection with this mail, and I can also add some comments, or I can still put this one on the disavow list if they are not listening to my emails. Let's go to the disavow list. And this is basically the same list, and you can add them to mark them to remove if you want to do it manually, or you can move them to whitelist. So that is actually a good link. What you need to do is you click over here, export to TXT. Click on it, and then we have this, and inside of this file is just a link of all the domains that you want Google to disavow. Just a simple list of domains. Now, what do you need to do then? You need to go to Google Disavow tool. It's over here. Just click on it. Then you need to be logged in with Google. Then you need to select the right domain and you press Upload Disavow List. Then you select the right TXT file that we've just generated with SEMrush. And then all is good and Google will process this entire disavow list to help you with your backlink profile. Perfect. That's the way you should handle a toxic backlink profile. Then you need to recalculate your overall toxicity score. So when you've uploaded, you press over here, yes, I've uploaded the file. And then SEMrush will recalculate your entire score. That's very important to do, or else you will keep seeing those toxicity scores on your website. Then we go over here, lost and found. You can see new, broken and lost domains. Now this gives you a beautiful visual overview of all the new, broken and lost domains for your backlink profile. However, we've just started out, so you need to let this run for a couple of months and then you can see all these things and you're like, hey, this is pretty interesting, what's going on? We should do something, remove them, disavow them, get more backlinks, all these things. Then we go to target pages. With this tool, we can quickly see which pages have the most backlinks and with all these different kind of metrics, which is pretty great. You can also put it on backlinks. Here we can see the most backlinks. We don't have an awful lot in here, so that's different than from other clients, so okay. Then we go over here to About. With this tool, we can really deeper connect Google Search Console with SEMrush. We can see the disavow list, we can see everything that's going on in there. So this is the way to do it. Just hit that blue button, follow the steps to connect it with Google Search Console. That's basically it. Now we go to the next tool, which is the link building tool. Now this tool is really amazing. I love it. Just go into your project and then we can see 6 domains have been added to our prospect list. Wow, great. We're going to see this prospect list. We have 902 domain prospects. Wow, this is pretty amazing. All automatically done with SEMrush. Now let's go with prospects. In here we can see all different kind of websites that could be interesting to get links from to our own website. Now let me show you how this works. We have over here 902 prospects. All different kind of websites with specific URLs that can be valuable to link to our website. If you, for example, think, hey, this website, ferrarichat.com, is a forum, I would like to have my link on this forum, then I can go over here to In Progress. I can select here to select an outreach strategy. You have different kind of strategy. Is this a manual link? Is this a directory? Is this an article, product review, link from mentioned guest posts, or recover lost backlinks? We can customize also these outreach strategies so you can build a real clean and lean list where you can actually see in one go what is this list all about. Now, let's go. This one is a guest post, so let's put it in over there. You can also do it, of course, this way. Just select multiple one and add them into this new list. And if it's completely not relevant for you, just select these guys and press on reject, and then it will be deleted from your prospects. But how to assess what is a good link? Well, you first go to this one, is maseratilive.com. It's a thread, ridiculous resale value. It's a post from September 4 in 2017. If I open up this link in a new tab, you will see that this is just a post from someone. The chance that you are getting a link inside of this post is just 0%. So I don't think this is a good website. So we go over here, select this one, and we're going to reject it as a prospect because it's not interesting for us. Now let's go over here to In Progress. Here we can see we have 8 domains in progress, 4 to contact and to start an outreach. We have in here motor.one.com. We press on contacts and then we are again at the emailing tool of SEMrush. But this time they already found some email addresses from motor1.com. So that's really useful. It saves us a bunch of time. Please link to my website. I don't think if that's a good subject. I would go to something like link suggestion for a specific page. And now the most difficult part starts, because why would they link to your website? Is it because they know you? Is there an incentive? Do you provide value to the market for you have done some research about Maserati owners, which is interesting for them to cover? You have to bring some value to the market, because just asking, hey, can you send me a mail for your website? I will send you for I don't think this will work. So really think about that. Also, we have over here the follow-up mail. So you can just say, hey, I hope you've read my message. I hope you've considered it. Let me know what you think. I really like this tool because now you can do link building on a really professional level. Even with your team members, we all can log in and see where are we at. We have sent an email right now. It has been delivered. Someone has read it and now they will receive or not, send them another mail, call them, I don't know. You can really take your link building to the next level with these tools of SEMrush. I love it. Now, let's say I have received an email back from these guys and they say, yeah, we're sure we put you on it. It's only costing you $5,000 a month. So let's put it in. And then we press on this button and now it has been removed to our monitor. Here we can click over here and we can see we still have one domain is a prospect, but the link is lost because it has not been found by SEMrush. This way you can keep an eye on all those link building you have been doing, and if people email you and say, yeah, sure, we put it on, and it's not on there within 60 days, you can contact them again and again and again to really make this link building work. And then the final tab in here is the About page, and you can learn everything about your backlink profile. I'm a bit confused why there is an About tab. I didn't find it in any other tool, but okay, it's right there. You can use it. All right, let's go to the last tool in our link building toolkit, which is the bulk analysis. With the bulk backlink analysis, you can add in 200 URLs of your favorite competitors and just compare all of them with your own domain. Just add in 3 of them and I press on compare, and then SEMrush will show us a bulk backlink analysis. You can compare them really quick in one overview, send them to Excel or CSV. You can also click on the backlinks and then you're being redirected to the backlink analytics for this specific domain. And you can add them again to your own link building tool. So this is a great tool if you want to analyze a lot of domains at the same time. All right, let's go to the next one, which is the site audit. And this will basically give us a technical report of what's going on exactly on our website. We can immediately see that our site health is just 76% and the top 10% websites on the internet have a 92%. We're looking at crawlability is good, HTTPS is good, internal linking and markup. But the core web vitals and the site performance is just really, really bad. And this is going to cost us a lot of SEO rankings because we have slow page speed, duplicated title tags, very bad, too many JavaScript, missing meta descriptions and long title elements. Oi, 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 oi. Let's fix those all. Let's take a look closer to go over here to issues. Now, then we have really hard errors that we need to fix. 7 pages have slow load speed. That's not good, we need to fix this. If you have a WordPress website and you also see this slow load speed errors, make sure to follow my tutorial over here and I'll show you exactly how to speed up your WordPress website because this is really costing you those high rankings. Google doesn't like slow websites and neither do I. So you need to fix that. We also have duplicated title tags. Oh no, that is not good. You have the same title tags for different pages. That really doesn't work. One page doesn't have a title tag at all. We have an incorrect page found in the sitemap. One page has no viewport tag. Oof. If you want to fix those, you can just also send it to Trello or Zapier, and then you can just escalate it to your website builder, or you can press on this exclude check button, and then it will never be mentioned again. But that's basically not a good practice. You can also click over here. We can see the different kind of pages. Again, we can select them all and we can send them to Trello or Zapier, but you can also export this to PDF or export it to a Excel file or CSV, and then you can do it manually or also send it to your technical guy who really has to work on this. Let's go back to all issues. We have errors. We have also warnings. The warnings are you're not using minified JavaScript, the CSS file. Again, follow my speed up tutorial and this is all fixed. And then we have notices. 444 issues with blocked external resources in robots.txt. That's a lot. Alright, it seems that this website once upon a time used a CDN and now they're not, because 444 of them has failed. So this really needs to be fixed, because the more errors, the less Google will like you, and that's not good for your rankings. Alright, let's go to crawled pages. And on this page you can see all the issues per page. So you can just click on it and then we can see the warnings and the notices per page. Well, of course this website now has a lot of warnings and a lot of notices because there's no caching plugin. And that's like the basics of SEO. First, make sure that your website is ultra fast, and then you can start building on everything SEO. That's just a foundational truth, just like socks disappearing in your dryer vortex. Then we go over here to statistics. This is like the same, but then it's nice in the overview, so then you can really see it. Here we can compare the difference between crawls. So you can say to your technical guy, hey, you're working on this. This looks really nice. We're not quite there yet. Or, hey man, you're not doing anything. Let's get this train back on tracks. And in progress, you can add some notes and you can tell in the graph, hey, I have now put it to my technical guy. They're going to fix it right now, for example, and you can return here and later on and see how things are going. Then over here, finally, we have the JavaScript impact. We need the Guru plan to really crawl our website with JavaScript, and we can see exactly what's going on there. All right, let's go to the on-page SEO checker. Also a very neat tool. Select your project. Wow, this is insane. Their ideas could help increase our organic traffic by over 1000%. Now that's a lot, and I mean, okay, they haven't been doing a lot of SEO, so yes, it's definitely possible to increase it. Now, what this tool does, it will give you ideas to optimize different kind of pages. Very nice and very interesting. Let's go to all ideas. For example, we have over here new Maserati specials. They have 6 ideas for this. Let's click on these 6 ideas, and this is just basically a page that shows you exactly what to do. We can improve our SEO strategy, fix our cannibalization. You can read everything about it. Here is a technical content analyze, what you should do and what it should be done. We can try to add more backlinks. And well, this is really the technical optimization ideas for our pages. Now, all right, then we go to top 10 benchmarkings. Now, this overview gives you an analyzing of your keywords, like the 2022 Maserati Levante, the content length, compared your page to the top 10 average words. Now that's really interesting. So it says that our page is 3,320 words, which can be good, but also a little bit too much. We can see the markup. We have top 10 averages vehicle, and we use the markup product. That's just bad. The readability is 51. We have 48. So we should definitely improve the readability. You can do that very easily with some SEO plugin. And then you know exactly how to fix that readability because it's very important. So this is a really nice benchmark on your keywords on the top 10 websites. Then we also have the ID tasks. This tool basically makes it possible to track your changes if you have fixed problems with the technical SEO on your website. For example, if we scroll down, we have all 190 and we have 184 to-dos and 6 already done. Earn links from more sources, add your text. Well, if you go to to-do, you can just see, make your text content more readable. Then we should just go there and make it more readable. Now, this entire list can be exported to PDF over there, and then we can just send it to anyone who should do this. The only thing is there is no way to select these issues and put them on solved or in progress or working on it. That can be a problem, but the only way to fix it is just to actually fix it. Now, that could be a really good idea to just do it for your technical people. Just make them work on the idea tasks. So it's a very nice tool to make use of for your website. Then we go over here to Log File Analyzer. What you basically do is you download a log file from your hosting company, you put it in here, and then SEMrush, it will show you exactly when the Googlebot was on your pages, for how long, which path did they follow, which pages did they see. all of these things, and that might sound very interesting, but I tried it in my last video, it worked, but my question still remains, what do I actually do with that knowledge to know how the Googlebot runs through my website? You know, it's like most of the time it works, so I don't know, but it's a possibility, it's a cool tool, so you might want to try it out and see what happens. For now, we are going to the Content Ideas SEO Writing Assistant. Now, the SEO Writing Assistant is a new cool tool that can help you write text for your website. If we press on Analyze My Text, you can paste it in, but you can also import your text from the web. So let's do that one. Let's use on this website, we have a dedicated service page. It's meant to draw in Maserati owners for service on their car. So I'm just going to press on import and it will now download all the text. That was really quick. We have also found some keywords, import them, why not? Then we can see our entire page in here, and it's not that good because it's basically only just a unordered list. That can be way better. But okay, we have some content recommendations. Well, provide target keywords. I would like to have Maserati service as my main keywords. Let's just not do all this one. Niche market, I'd like it. Press enter, here we go. We are aiming at the United States, but I want to have it on my phones. Also the region should be California, and then the city should be Los Angeles, and the language English. Very important that you fill this all in. And then we press on Get Recommendations. If I look at this as a professional SEO, I would really add in more images, more text, more titles, just redo the entire thing. But let's say what the smart writer will do for us. We have only 500 words, but let's compose a new text. Here we go, the AI bot is going to start. I like this, but I put my cursor on the wrong place, so that's why it's now completely here. But we can just use this. Now this looks really great. Now it's given us a bunch of tips. So I just select this paragraph over here and we can just simplify it. Just a moment, there we go. Beautiful, then we can accept it. Now our readability is pretty good. Tone of voice is pretty good. The SEO part is not that good and the originality should also be fixed. But for this to work, of course, we need to have more words. If you click on this plus icon, you can get more words. 7 days trial. So press on the Get 7-Day Trial and you can do anything you want with this text. There's also a lot to see in here. For example, the readability, the target should be 50, but it's already improved. We have the words amount should be more. We have some issues with the titles, with the content. This really feels like the SEO plugins on a WordPress website where you can just walk through the checklist and change all the things on this specific page. However, this tool just feels way more advanced and we have all these AI tools embedded. I really like this one. I can imagine this could really help your website gaining better SEO scores by using the AI features just to create entire new pages. Very awesome. You can also move this entire thing to Google Docs and work further from there or share it with your colleagues, teammates, whatever. Let's get back. And then we can see our text we've just created and we can analyze new text and then everything starts all over again. Just remember, if you're going to optimize new pages, the smart writer words used is still being counted up with the other pages. So just keep that in mind. Now this AI tool looks really great and you can use it to optimize every single page on your website. Let's go over here to topic research. This is a tool that helps you generate topic ideas so you can generate new original content about that idea. So let's enter in a domain to find a topic on. Let's use our own domain. I think it will write something about Maseratis. Who would have guessed that? Let's see what happens. What this tool actually does is looking for recent searches online to see what's hot and trending right now, so we get a lot of content ideas and we can favorite them, work them out and actually create AI content with it. We can also put this switch on, trending subtopics first. There are no trending subtopics, that's too bad. We can see that there are different kind of topics that could be interesting. For example, the Maserati MC20, press on show more. Wow, we can see all these things we can create content about. The Maserati MC20, we have MC20 2025. those are really great headlines we can use for an article or just some piece of content. We have different kind of questions that we need to answer. This is a really great tool. Look at this. I can just create content with all of these questions. Just make different paragraphs inside of my page that is about the Maserati MC20, maybe 2025. So if we like this idea, we go over here and we're going to create AI content or set it to Trello or create an SEO template. Let's send it to the AI content. Then you're being redirected to another toolkit, and that's the Content Shake AI, and we need a subscription for $60 a month. I will be making a dedicated tutorial on this one because we've just already saw what AI of SEMrush can do with your text. Let's imagine that they can create an entire pages on content for us on these specific topics. That would be really awesome to see. But if you don't want to show these cars, for example, I don't want to show the, let's see, Maserati watches. I just click on here and go dismiss this card. And then this whole idea has been lost forever. Now, if I really like this content, we go to the headlines, and I really like this one. And then we press on this button, add to your favorites. There. Then we go over here to favorite ideas, and then we can see these are the topic research I did. I really like this one, so I'm going to create content about it. But I can also export it to XLSX, and then we can just use it in any program that we want. Or we can click over here to create an SEO template, send it to Trello, remove it from favorites, add a comment, or go to the specific article. If I click over here, create SEO template, we will be going to the next topic, SEO content template. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Press on create content template. Now SEMrush is going to analyze our top 10 ranking rivals on each of these target keywords. I mean, that's perfect and exactly what we need because those are my biggest competitors online. Now they're done and we can see an overview of our Google top 10 rivals and we can see exactly how they do certain things. We also have some key recommendations. In here we can see the competitors, how to use our target keyword. They have like titles over there. Now, if you see that they don't have any data, it is because their crawler wasn't allowed to visit that page. You can investigate it manually by going over here. Here we can see an overview of the top 10, how their titles are, how their content is, what they are doing. It's just like this on the go, and we can see it, we can learn from it, and we can use it to our advantage. There are the basic recommendations. These are the titles, recommendations, the descriptions, the H1, the text. This is actually pretty nice to see how our top 10 competitors are doing. I would suggest if you're going to do this, use long tail keywords that you can easily rank on. So for example, we should use by Maserati Los Angeles. That would save us and gives us some more relevant information for our specific website. So long tail keywords would help you over here. Then finally, we have the real-time content check. We can open it in the SEO writing system or Content Shake AI. But again, you know that we need to have a different subscription for that one. Then over here, we have some extras. We have the Sensor, SEO Quake, and the SEMrush Rank. Those are the three last things I'm going to show you. Let's first go to the Sensor. Now, this tool combines the tracking of all positions around different kind of categories on the World Wide Web. And I mean the entire internet. It's insane. Now, what does it look like when you go, for example, to a news? There we are. It changes every single day. You can see it's a Google Quake. Everything will change every single day a lot of times. So that's logical. But for example, if you go to the health today, nothing has changed. It's too quiet today, says the tool. But there has been some changes, but average, it's pretty low. So with this tool, they actually combine all the information, put them in different categories, and you get a nice view of what's going on within the entire internet. In here, you can see the deviations for your specific niche. So we had deviations on these days were pretty high, and we have winners and losers across the entire internet. So it's not that relevant for your specific website, but the SEMrush Sensor is a pretty neat tool that they can actually build because they are watching all these rankings all around the entire world. Now, if you want to go to SEO Quake, we will be redirected to the Backlinko tool. That's the name it has right now from SEMrush. And what this tool basically is just a free checker to get you an upsell to SEMrush to check out their tools because of all these things that need to be unlocked and seen. It's just a technical SEO program. It's pretty funny, but I don't know exactly why you should use it if you have a SEMrush account. Then let's go to the last one, which is the SEMrush rank. If we go over here, we can see the rank of all the websites on the entire internet. Completely not relevant for our website unless you are an owner of NewYorkTimes.com or all these big websites. You can see their rankings, their SC traffic, their search engine traffic, their cost, the paid keywords. They're like monitoring the entire internet, so this is a pretty neat tool to see all the information about 37 million websites. That's just insane. You could also go to winners and losers and just look at it again. Very interesting, completely not relevant for you and my website, and that's why it's on the extras, but it's pretty nice to see. I really hope this tutorial helped you finding your way through all these tools in the SEO toolkit. If you want to see more videos about all the other toolkits, subscribe to my channel and you get a notification because I'm going to make dedicated tutorials about all of these, and I hope to see you in these videos.